What's happening, people? Dan Lawless here, West Ham Fan TV, back with an opposition preview of someone you may recognise. He's back, my old friend Louis Beneventi from his channel, which I believe is called Louis Beneventi.
It's called Louis Beneventi, Dan. I'm slightly worried that you've known me for 4 years. You still don't know how to say my name.
Beneventi, you know.
Still can't say it, and I've told you what it is twice. Back, baby. Yeah.
He's back. Chelsea Echo, all of that stuff. He's back in the game. So it's good to see you back, mate. Doing your thing.
Yeah,
so we're gonna preview the game. Before we get into that, you guys can support us on Patreon if you want for as little as £3 a month. Exclusive videos, prizes, and giveaways. So check the link in the description down below. There you go. So I'm just trying to delay talking about this football match. I'm trying to put it off. Just don't want to talk about it, Louis. I didn't even want to see your face.
I mean, it's one of those where I dread playing West Ham because you're either going to turn up or we're just going to roll you over. I don't particularly want to predict this game either, but I'm not usually like that anyway.
By the way, before we get into this preview, I just want to point out, because I know someone's going to point it out, right? You've got the proper setup there. You've got the blue walls. You've got all the Chelsea stuff around, all the Chelsea legends like Oasis and all of that. But you've got the setup.
Oasis is a Man City legend, mate. But
Yeah, I know. I was being sarcastic. But you got the blue walls. You got the setup. I've got a creased West Ham flag I've put up with clothes pegs last minute. Getting to the game finally. Yeah. I've been putting off. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a tough game. Very tough game. Pulisic is on fire.
Pulisic is a baller. He's been amazing.
Why was he not been playing though initially?
So it was a bedding in process, I think, and obviously Frank Lampard was trying to figure out his best 11, but also he had a lot of injuries, so it was like little niggles, and don't think Frank Lampard wanted to risk him. But whenever he's played, he's had, well, for a start, he comes on, he's got a great burst of pace. He's a fantastic ball carrier. He goes past players, and as we've seen over the past few games, he scores goals. This is going out on a limb, but me and my dad were kind of saying it when we were watching him this year. You watch Christian Pulisic, and it's almost reminiscent of watching Eden Hazard in his first couple of years. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to go on to become what Eden Hazard was for Chelsea, but you can see as he's found his feet more and more and more, the player which people raved about at Borussia Dortmund is coming to life, and you're seeing this fantastic player develop and find his feet in the Chelsea 11. And I think obviously it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next year, because obviously we've got Hakim Ziyech coming in, Timo Werner, there's talk of Kai Havertz, and obviously you'll have Christian Pulisic as well. And you've got other players as well that are still in the squad that could be coming in as well. It's one of those where it's going to be very interesting to see how he competes next year, because right now he is the best winger at Chelsea Football Club, but he still needs to develop. But we now have a lot of options for next year. But he is definitely the player to watch out for in this game.
See, you're getting excited, right?
Yeah.
Rightfully so. You're excited. But this is a test for Lampard here, because it's about, okay, you're signing these good players, good names. It's about if he can then see players and fit them to his team and his squad, and not just sign someone because they're a good player, but have a plan for them, fit them into his philosophy, and have some long-term planning. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the big thing with Frank Lampard this year was he had the opportunity to bed in youth players, and his philosophy, which he sold to the club and he sold to these new signings as well, is it's a 3-year plan. It's first year, bed in youth prospects, show to the youth squad that there is actually a direct link between the first team and the academy. And there now literally is. I think Frank Lampard's moved some stuff about with Jody Morris as well, who's actually, big credit to him for this as well. And they've kind of literally physically made a path between the academy and the first team to show it's not just, guys, you can get there. It's literally, okay, if you want to come train with us, okay, we'll take you and you. They literally walk from one place to another. So mentally, there's already a big development at Chelsea. I think what Lampard is doing here is actually implementing like a blueprint for Chelsea Football Club, and that's something which I think is quite amazing. He's obviously got him, who is a Chelsea legend, understands what it means to wear that club shirt. Lampard for me was along with John Terry, was the burning example of a player of who understood Chelsea from every angle.
You're welcome, by the way. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, you lot were dicks to him. That's your fault. He's come to Chelsea and he has that mentality. He has that strength, and he brings these players through. They develop an ethos, and obviously Jody Morris is another example of a player that obviously wasn't the same level as Lampard and did have to move on, but. He was a Chelsea youth prospect. He's a Chelsea fan growing up, season ticket holder as a kid. They understand everything, and they've brought in these youth players and are developing this ethos, which slowly but surely means that the club is developing itself. For me, it almost looks very similar to how it's like what this is how I feel about it anyway when I look at it. It's like what Shankly did for Liverpool in terms of making a club. Matched with the Jurgen Klopp early years. And I'm not saying that there's a direct correlation. I'm not saying we're the same. But if you're looking at a blueprint to follow...
It's fine, Louis. I'm just going to cut that out and have that as a buzz thing. Louis says that Lampard is like Shankly and Klopp. That's the headline.
Well, I'm not saying that. Right now, Chelsea Football Club is blooming. It's fantastic in terms of how people are coming together and developing themselves, and and how there's a lot more unity than there's been in quite a long time across everybody. This is the most unity I have seen at Chelsea since Mourinho's first stint.
Well, that's a long time. That's a long time.
Exactly.
So let's see if we can disrupt that unity, because we want to get into this game tomorrow, right? West Ham versus Chelsea. Right, we're getting into the game. How are you feeling about this game?
I never like playing you guys because I'm slightly worried, like I said earlier, that you'll just turn up and just do us. I think based on how we've been playing, and we have been quite good, and how you've been playing, on paper, Chelsea should walk this game. But games aren't played on paper.
Yeah.
I think Declan Rice always likes to play well against us because obviously we released him from the academy. I think that depending on who you start, you could cause us trouble. But it's one of those where right now, in the position you're in, I feel that West Ham have far too many luxury players for how they should be playing right now. I feel your Sebastian Hallers, for example, who you spend 40 million on, not working at the minute. You need someone who's willing to do the dog work. In terms of your front line, I look at you say Jared Bowen, Snodgrass if he's fit, and personally for me, I get different ones. I'd say Mikel Antonio, because you've got a front three there that are willing to just put the work in.
Yeah. But Antonio did look good against you guys before he had a goal ruled out against you guys last time. But yeah, unfortunately, Snodgrass is injured. Jared Bowen is that work rate. He works his ass off. So does Antonio. Antonio's just not got that fitness. He's just lacks a bit of that fitness to be able to do it over 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Allaire is injured, and he's not going to be playing for you guys against you guys. But having Antonio and Allaire is you have that player that does that dog work, and then gets it to the man who can put it in the back of the net. That's what we need. So a player that can play off each other, but we can't do that. It's such a tough one. I feel like even though we was shocking against Wolves and we're shocking against Tottenham, we were less shocking against Tottenham. So hopefully it's like we're slowly improving. It's going to be even less shocking against you guys. And, maybe you guys are due. This could be your little blip, and then you can go on and have your little run, whatever you want.
Bloody hope not. We're only 1 point behind Leicester, and Wolves are only 2 points behind us. So, top four is a little bit tighter than I'd like it to be at the minute.
Listen, top four, that's first world problems, mate. I was worried about top four. Listen, when you're talking about Premier League survival, we need this more than you. We really
you've got a state. You sold your soul for that stadium, and it's really not worked out for you, has it?
Well, it's not worked out. Not everyone wanted to go there. It's not. They thought that's the thing. The board thought we'd just get the stadium and then we're going to be great, and that's all you need is a stadium, and then you're playing Champions League football. Fortunately, it don't work like that. So you got Abramovich, we got Golden Sullivan. So yeah, can't all get what we want, But it's a tough one. I mean, I don't feel positive about this. I really don't feel positive. However, anything can happen in the Premier League. Anything can happen. You never know. This could be the game where we finally pull our socks up and we put on a great performance and we just we nick it. Even a point, like to us, a point would be huge in this game.
100%.
Maybe not so much for you guys, but I mean it's a step in the right direction. It depends on obviously lineups and who you got to go in with. I mean, who do you think we could see? Do you think Pulisic could start? Giroud? What are we looking at?
I mean, let's just have a little look at the injury news, shall we? But benefit of the setup as I can get the news up. Pulisic might actually be out because he had a bit of a calf problem against Leicester, and Christensen's out as well. So the lineup I was thinking about is completely going out the window. We
could see Giroud then, couldn't we? We could see Giroud.
Giroud's been a massive asset for Chelsea the past couple of years. He is a bit of a cult hero, not going to lie. But he's a weird one. Good.
It's weird. I mean, I watched the Villa game, and he, until Pulisic came on, that's obviously when he scored. And I feel like he needs that play around him. He's really going to put in the work because before he looked pretty useless before he'd come on, and you was doing all this work to get to the final third, and that final ball was just shocking until he came on. And I'm hoping that's it. So
it's gonna be
could that be the same? Could we see a repeat of that, but without being able to sub him on? It's a tough one. I mean, Aston Villa showed that there's weakness because you guys were on top for large spells of the game, and they still managed to come and put one in the back of the net. Yeah. And we've been decent at soaking up some pressure. Yeah. Our defense isn't terrible. It's our attack and our creativity that's really lacking.
Yeah. I mean, set pieces are probably Chelsea's biggest weakness. And let's not say probably. They are Chelsea's biggest weakness. We just don't seem to have any physicality or any presence. And Frank Lampard said that since the Lille game in, I think it was October or November. In the away game, he said we lack that presence as a defender. So for me in this game, I will go Kepa in goal. Marcus Alonso's been playing really well at left back, so he'll go in there. In terms of physicality, if Christensen's unavailable, you're probably going to be looking at Zuma and Rudiger. Yeah. You're then going to be looking at Azpilicueta at right back, and your midfield three is probably going to be N'Golo Kante, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Mateo Kovacic. And your front three will probably, if Pulisic's not available, I can see Mason Mount playing out on the left, and then we'll have Giroud and we'll have Willian. So
interesting.
It's a decent side. I think Pulisic, if he's available, will be a massive asset. Mason Mount as a player is definitely he's so versatile. He can play as an 8, he can play as a 10, he can play as a winger.
What happened to Tammy Abraham? I mean, he started the season on fire and has just sort of petered out.
Well, I think it depends on the opponent. I think he's still a massive player for Chelsea, but I think we play Giroud because of the physical presence that he brings. I think you're looking at, obviously, I'm guessing you're going to have Angelo Ogbonna and Balbuena as your two?
Or Diop, probably Diop.
Or Diop. Okay, so you've got two big lads there. So Tammy Abraham's great when it comes into those fresh legs and getting in behind the lines and stretching the play, but his hold-up play still isn't quite there. And he's still a fantastic player. I'm not sitting there saying, oh my God, he's crap, let's get rid of him. He is 21, 22, so he's roughly the same age as me, playing his first season of Premier League football. He's proven in the Championship he's a decent centre-forward, scoring 20 goals. And this season, he's already scored 15, 16 goals for Chelsea. So it's one of those where I look at him and I go, do you know what? Like, he's not ready to be a number one striker yet. but he's definitely someone who is going to develop and going to prove his point as a player as time goes on. And I think that, Tammy Abraham, he could start against you guys. It could be a bit of a change up there where he comes and starts. But I just think Giroud, as that focal point up front, could cause more problems because he will, link play up well as well, to be fair. And he's going to, control Angelo Abona and Issa Diop, Balbuena, whoever it is at the back, meaning that, we'll have Mason Mount and Willian as two guys that can get in behind. Willian, his final product isn't there. Mason Mount, however, I back him score a few goals this season. He's done all right. Obviously, he's had a few stints which he's missed out on, but I think that Pulisic isn't available. We've still got a decent side, and on paper, we should still be beating you.
Well, on paper, but like you said, thankfully, football isn't played on paper. Exactly. It's played in empty stadiums. So,
or soulless bowls if you're a West Ham fan.
Well, listen, you'll be getting your own soulless bowl in a few years, whenever those.
No, I don't think we will. I think ours will be all right, to be honest.
Nah, even Tottenham, everyone
value stadiums above trophies. I'm quite happy at Stamford Bridge, to be honest. I don't want it to close.
Nah, but, you'll be getting your new corporate stadium with your own cheese room and all that crap like Spurs have, right? So you've got that to look forward to, the same as the rest of us. So. We'll see. Tomorrow, big game. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, I am nervous. If we lose, we could say that our restart starts after Chelsea, but no, we need these points. We need a point, any point. So let's see what happens. So I'm gonna go and do something on your channel next, right? Actually, no, before we do that. Now, I know you usually go, I don't do predictions, but this is the new Louis. Like, this is Louis Beneventi.
No,
Did I say it right the first time? Beneventi.
You said Benevetti, then you went Benevente. It's Beneventi.
Beneventi.
It's right, okay, put it this way. So, just say Bene,
yeah.
Venti.
Venti, right. Beneventi. Right, got it. There we go. It is not 100% Chelsea. It's Louis Beneventi now. So does the new Louis do predictions?
He still doesn't, but he will give you how he thinks the game will go and then potentially mentally get the prediction. So I've just got my blue tack, which I always twiddle when I'm doing score predictions. It's like my mental arithmetic, basically. Okay. So I think Chelsea are going to win the game. However, West Ham will score first from a set piece, and we will score two when Christian Pulisic turns out not to be injured and comes on, and Tammy Abraham will score a brace. So I'll go 2-1 Chelsea. There you go. See? Mental arithmetic. It's there. You got what you wanted out of me. You happy now?
Yeah. Okay. Finally got a prediction out of you. Let's see what turns out to be. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're dead wrong, and I hope I can post that as a meme or something. And
you
just
got your meme out of me for the past next 10 years. You did the shooting stars meme of me when you hit me with a bloody chair.
Yeah, that's forever. That's forever. I have to bring that out again. So, especially if we win. If we win, I'm going to share that again.
Fantastic.
And make a meme
Great
out of it. So, I'm going to go on your channel now. We're going to talk more of a sort of West Ham perspective on the Chelsea channel. So, let me know what you guys think, what your predictions are for the game. Check back for all of our content after the game, all our watch-alongs and that we're going to have during the game. We're going to be watching the game and fan cams, all of that stuff. Check us out on Patreon. One thing left to say, come on, you eyes.